Honestly, if I had run into someone like me 20 years ago, I would have probably, I would have called them crazy. Through the years of growing up in church, I've met a few that I called fanatics, but the majority of Christians I've known were fairly happy. And then there were those who were downright miserable. I found out why some Christians were so miserable, and I'd love to share it with you, but you gotta know I went through a river of tears getting here. I'm sure you've heard it said, what you see is what you get, but look at it a bit differently. What you look at is what you become. I knew I couldn't fix how miserable I was, so I changed my eye prescription. What I looked at, what I listened to, focused on, and what I was letting rule my life. I started removing things that I knew displeased God. But as I learned to hear from the Holy Spirit, He began revealing things that I had no idea displeased Him. The enemy is so sly. Some of it was easy. Most of it was hard. I was changing things and breaking bad habits. I had to learn to fill that time with other things. Like what? Praise and worship music, singing out loud at home and in my car, reading His Word and praying, spending time in prayer, learning to hear Him and getting to know Him. If that sounds crazy to you, I understand. But I was one of those miserable Christians who blamed everyone else for my misery. And I found out it didn't have to be that way. Once you start changing your eye prescription, you might just find out how supernatural God's peace and joy really is. And I have even more revelation for you. It doesn't stop. You think it can't get any better? And it does. You will see. Jesus changes everything.